Right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Stacey Thompson, 744054.
What's your name?
Stacey Thompson.
Stacey Thompson. Okay, Stacey. All right, just let me get the right one up. We got you right here.
Okay.
All right, Stacey, my name is Brendan Kelsey, along with Ms. Renata and Mr. Roche will be your panel. Explain the process to you, read some information to the record. Have a parole interview, ask you some questions, you can respond. At the end, you can make a statement, we'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Stacey, let's see, let me get you. Stacey Thompson, DOC number 744054, second class offender for all those really date 10/16/2023. Good time. 6/29/2024, full term 1/17/2029. 7-year sentence.
Yes, sir.
Possession of methamphetamines. And it looks like you were revoked on June 2nd, 2022. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, Stacey, how long you been incarcerated?
March 16th, made a year.
You've been 1 year on this 7-year sentence.
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 49.
So what's a 49-year-old doing in jail?
It's horrible. I know. At 45, I'd never been in trouble a day in my life till I turned 45, and I lost my husband, and felt like I lost my kids all at the same time, all in one night. And I just started making one batch.
How did that happen?
My husband had a heart attack and passed away. And
Killed. What happened?
I immediately started making bad choices. Started drinking. I'd never been a drinker, and I actually, looking back now, and now that I'm in classes and taking risk management, I see where, my thinking was wrong about it. I never really lost my kids. I was just in a drug fog, and the cognitive distortions, that I've learned about, I see, I wasn't thinking clearly. I never lost my kids. They were there when I called them and needed them. But I'm sure, there was a time that they had to, you can't help somebody that won't help themselves. And you can't watch somebody you love self-destruct. So there was times that they, backed away, but anytime that I called them and needed them, they were there immediately. So I felt like I had lost my kids at moments, but it was not accurate. It was just the fog that I was in.
Well, you don't just stumble. If you've never done drugs before, you don't just like stumble on crystal meth. So how's that happen?
Well, I had started drinking, and I was drunk one night, and somebody had some, and it was actually the first time I had ever laid eyes on meth, and I done it that night, and every day for 5 years after that. Yes, I have 2 college degrees. I'm a respiratory therapist for 25 years, yes, and I have a degree in science, and I'm a licensed phlebotomist. So yes, sir, I've worked my whole life. I raised my kids on a church pew. I've had a very normal, good life up until I was 45. And like I said, I just started making one bad choice and one bad decision after another, and just ran my life so far off course that I couldn't get it back on track, and actually created a prison for myself worse than this one, so I did.
Well, that's kind of concerned. So what's going to make me feel better that you're going to be, if we were to release you, that you're going to be able to handle the meth problem, not be around those same people that you get in trouble with? I mean, what is the relationship with your kids now? Is that estranged? Are they talking to you? What's going on?
Yes, sir. My kids are, we have a healthy relationship, and I'm not going back to the same environment. I'm going to a sober living program. I've been accepted. I should have an acceptance letter in
Right.
my
All right, you do, I want you to tell me about it. What is it?
P31.
Kingdom Recovery, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Tell me
I'm sorry.
about
You were cutting out. I didn't understand. I didn't hear the full question.
it. Just tell me about it. Your Kingdom Recovery, is that what you're going to?
I'm going to P31 in Monroe. Yes, sir. And I've spoken with Miss Tina Bass, and she told me that she would like for me not to come with the time frame in mind, to come, long term, and plan on going there and working that program, getting a sponsor.
Is that the Kingdom Recovery as well?
I've never heard that name, so I'm not aware of that, but I just know it's P31. That's what?
That's Catherine Swanson.
That's a different part. That's another.
Okay, for some reason I had Kingdom Recovery on here.
I think that's the next person.
Right. Okay, so how long is that program?
I think typically a year, but she told me that she would like for me to come and stay as long as I felt that I needed, 2 or 3 years, whatever I needed. She said she didn't want me to put a time frame on it.
I think that's the same program, P31 Kingdom Recovery. We're finding it out again here. Whatever it is, you've been accepted to, is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
So what are you going to do? Where are you going to work? What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to try to get my medical license reinstated. If that is not a possibility for me, I know that I can work in other labs. I can work in a sleep lab just on my respiratory degree without actually having a valid license. And I know that I can work in other diagnostic labs without my license.
Where are you going to live? I mean, you're going to go to sober living. Where is your home? Where are you going to go live after that?
I want to go to Minden, possibly where my youngest son is. He has 2 small children that he.
Where'd you live when you got in all this trouble?
Sir.
Where'd you live when you got in all this trouble?
Monroe, West Monroe.
Have you had any write-ups, disciplinary write-ups?
No, sir.
What do you currently do at the facility there?
I'm in 2 classes. I'm in risk management and beyond trauma.
How much longer you have to finish those?
I think 3 months each on both of them.
Okay. 3 months each on both of them. Okay. So in the 3 months, you'll be completed, both of them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, staff, y'all have any input there for me on her, Miss Stacey?
No, sir.
Well, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir. I would like to just ask y'all to take in consideration that my history and my past, I don't have a criminal record, and that I do know how and understand how to live on the, right side of the law and be a productive citizen. And this risk management class has really helped me, giving me tools that I wish I had my whole life. Understanding and recognizing risk factors. And I know that I know how to live the correct way. And I'd just like for y'all to take in consideration that, I don't have a history of trouble.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, it's been fair to vote. All right, well, I'll vote first. I'm gonna, listen, you're right, there's a lot of concern. Concern affects 45 and you started having these problems. I mean, that's a problem. You have children involved. I get it. Life is there are tough things in life. You're going to go through some hard things as well. Looks like your good time date is 6/29/2024. But I'm going to vote, to me, to grant you parole to the P31, which is it's called King Recovery P31. I want you to do NAA 3 times a week. At least you might do it every day there. That's a minimum. And when you get out, I want you doing it. I want you to do some community service. You do about 5 hours a month of community service. Speak to at-risk. You speak to somebody, tell them your story. I want you, of course, go to the Kingdom, the P31, and I want you to have a mental health evaluation and follow up. I just think that maybe you've gone through some trauma, but all of these things, I want you to complete these 2 classes first. I want you to complete risk management and beyond trauma. When you finish those, then you'll be eligible to release. So you need to finish those. If it's 3 months, if it's 2 months, whatever it is, complete those classes, then you'll be released. That's just one vote. That's my vote. That's Renata.
Thompson, where's your children? Why aren't they?
Well, they are, well, they're grown, so they have their own families. 2 are in Caldwell Parish, 3's in Caldwell Parish, and the other one is in Minden. I guess that's Webster Parish.
I do agree. I think my vote today also is to grant after you finish the risk management beyond trauma and to the long-term.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Roche.
Ms. Thompson, my vote is the same reasons, under the same conditions, that you complete both good time classes that you're presently in, and after release, you'll be released to the 31 program with Ms. Peter back.
Thank you.
All right, you understand stipulation? You understand stipulation? 3 votes to grant. Parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
What a crowd.
Wow. You see those before and after pictures of what meth can do to you, and we have the well, I guess the profile picture for the YouTube is the after. That's unbelievable. She she's 49 and she didn't start until 45, and then she basically did it every day of her life until every day until she ended up in prison. And is just absolutely meth will do that to you. I don't know what the appeal is, but you do see, I'm not sure if there's any drug that messes you up faster. And in this case, prison really did what it's supposed to do. I mean, it stopped her before she killed her, before something maybe worse happened. And I have a lot of empathy for her. I think it's easy to, you really see someone 2 degrees working in a lab, which is, the irony there. And then her husband passed away and she just tumbled down this and ended up in prison. I mean, it's just a perfect example of how drugs do not discriminate. And I mean, we've heard people come on here and say, well, it's the first time I touched it, and they're in their 40s, and usually we find out that they're lying, like the board pulls up. But like a long history, they have a track record, they have other felonies, arrests, but she has nothing. She has no arrests, she has no record up until, can you imagine at 45 years old going down that cycle? What is concerning is that her kids aren't there, but like what she said, they're grown up, so it can't really be held accountable for her in this case. It's not like she killed anyone. She didn't get in the car and wipe out a family. She's has been suffering enough for herself. She's caused herself enough pain, and I'm sure everyone around her, but Man, you know, they kind of threw the book at her 7-year sentence for a first time offense, which is pretty intense. But she's been locked up a year, and you know, I'd like to see her. Really do hope, have a lot of high hopes for her, and hopefully she can be an advocate and help other people that are in her situation. Pretty fascinating to me. Very rarely, I don't know if we've ever seen an authentic story where someone started at 45 years old and then got locked up for the first time. You've seen people say it, but I don't think we've actually seen it. What do you think? You think she's going to be successful when she gets out? Love to hear your comments below. But with that, I will let you go.